Oh, I don't know how that hit you. It just did. Oh man. Okay. That wasn't too bad. Also, you'll notice too that game. I don't think we talked at the start at all. That game was over 6 minutes. Yeah, there's 43 seconds left at the end of that.
Yeah, I was playing like a wussy. Sorry.
No, you weren't, bro. You were playing like you're trying to stay alive. I would never ever say like you're playing lame or like you have to engage for my sake. If what I was actually gonna say is that you're playing the matchup the way that you should. Because if you do just get too reckless, you can absolutely just get destroyed. And let's say if I want to run away from you, and you don't want to run away from me, I can just camp you out, right?
Yeah, for sure.
My needles are much faster, and I can also charge them to let it go whenever it's a safe time. I don't have to commit to just going like immediate needles like this, right? Like how you have to do with water shuriken. So if I want to, I could be 10 times more lame if I wanted to, right? So if you're trying to win out here, then if we go to time every single time, which we don't have to do, but if that's what happens, then that's what happens, right? Don't ever think that the game has to be moving forward at a pace that's going to make you lose, if that makes sense.
Those needles. I don't really know what to do about them.
Not much you can do, bro. Unless like that's even offline, they're still ridiculously hard to deal with. And I can say, I don't know if you ever played Smash 4, but there was actually a meme at the time where the answer to everything in the game was camp with needles. Basically, how do you beat Rosalina playing as Falco? You camp with needles. Like that's the answer for everything in life, because that shit was so broken if you wanted to just camp, because you can't react to it online or offline. You're taking 6 damage to 11 damage, which isn't a lot, but if you have no choice, like you have to now start running up your shielding, and she's fast enough to just get there and get grabs, and her combo game is obviously insane. So all you really can do is try to anticipate when they're going to come out. Also being aware of if I have them charged, right? If you jump over it, you can absolutely punish it, right? It's just you have to know. It's very, very difficult. There you go, something like that. Also, that was a bad spot for me to use it. Oh, I tried. I just killed myself. Yo.
Oh,
Could have died?
Yeah.
It's all good.
Oh.
I just did it. Oh, good catch. That was super good.
I'm misreading your DI on my dash attacks a lot.
I can say, for the most part, I would say if I'm not DIing away, I probably have no DI because I wasn't ready to get hit.
Uh-huh.
So if you feel like I'm not going quite as far as I should away from you and it's a little bit too steep, you can try and take that into consideration, and I guess look for it. But also what you can do too is see if I was in the middle of a move when you hit me, right? If you can identify what the move was, like if I'm coming with like a landing fair, you know, holding forward, there's a chance I'm going to be DIing in for that. If I'm jumping away with a back air and you catch me, I'm probably going to be DIing out.
Okay.
Right. It's not always like that, but as far as online goes, it's pretty consistent since we don't have the ability to react to making a mistake even. Okay. That's way better pressure, keeping me off stage, right? But don't back up too far, right? Oh, you had a punish there too. I know your grab's not great out of shield, but my dash attack is definitely not safe on shield. I know it's Greninja, but it's definitely not. Yeah, you got 2 minutes, right? So here you don't have to play too crazy. Of course, you want to get combos as much as you can, but you don't want to force the issue if you can't,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Keep thinking my back air is my fair.
Oh, back air?
Yeah.
What are you at? 133, I think? I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen Sheik back air not kill at 150, but Greninja is pretty light.
Know too much about Sheik, like as far as DIing her moves or anything like that. So
I would say for the
I
most
have no
part,
clue if I'm DIing them correctly.
for the most part, a lot of her stuff it's very much so like Captain Falcon, where if you're gonna survive any of her strings, you're gonna try to get as far away from her as possible. You're never going to DI in and get behind her. It's just not gonna happen. Even if you try to get in behind my up air, like if I'm trying to take you off the top and you DI in, just the way that it's angled and the way that it actually sends, DI in just makes you go straight up, right? So it makes my life easier. Should always be DIing away, and I can say for sure, since Sheik is so weak, that she's not going to be able to just kill you at like 95 with the back air right here, right? If I got like, let's say fair to like a back air like that and you DI'd away, there's a chance that I missed the back air completely because let's say I didn't slingshot or I didn't get close or I didn't hold forward far enough on my fairs. So when I went for the back air, or maybe the back air itself didn't actually get enough drift, so I just completely miss. Versus if you were to hold in the entire time because you're afraid of getting killed at like 95 from back air, it's never gonna happen. It's not that strong. So DI away for the majority of my combos. I don't think there's a single combo realistically where DIing in would be a good idea. I really don't think so. Even if I got like Nair into bouncing fish, needles, bouncing fish, all that stuff is going to be DI away. You want to try and get as far away from me as possible. I think the main gimmick to just know for Sheik is that since her hitboxes are so weak, you're very, very rarely, if ever, going to die to horrible DI. The only thing that could kill you with like super bad DI is if I go like this and catch you with the explosion and like you hold away from that, but that should be pretty obvious. Anything combo related though, just hold away.
I need to just be bearing instead of throwing out my like double jump for no reason.
Yeah, you want to.
I'm still not super used to how high Greninja jumps.
I was gonna say the number one thing you want to try and do in this matchup is you want to just try and control me as much as you can. I know it's not easy to do, and the same thing goes for you. I want to try and control you as much as I can because we're both super fast, right? And if the other person just gets a free reign to run around and go wherever they want, you're basically not going to be able to beat them because anytime they're being ledge trapped or juggled, if you can't catch them, then they're going to get out of stuff for free. Right? It makes our characters very execution heavy as far as not dropping ledge traps or edge guards or juggle situations, getting our kill confirms as much as we can, just keeping on pressure. Way too close to me. So one for another back air. One thing I am happy about though is you have not rolled out of the corner a single time. I tried to bait that 3 times so far and you haven't done it even once. So that's good.
Yeah, I was playing some with my friend the other day, and or actually yesterday, and they were talking to me about like rolling out of the corner. I was doing that a lot, and so I've been trying to consciously avoid that.
Yeah, super good, because you could have got up smashed at least 3 times so far. I'm very surprised that up air hit.
Cooked out here.
So yeah, when you use your double jump like that and go up with your up air, it makes it very easy for me to air dodge out, right? You could be trying to scare that out by just going for a full hop and then doing nothing, or just going for a full hop up air. And if I air dodge, you can get to the ground beside me and potentially get at least, I'd say, a dash attack or a down tilt, depending where I land. Maybe just a jab even, depending on if I go super far away. If I go to a platform, you could just go up, then down, and go for like an up smash. And I know that the platforms are kind of trash for Greninja, but sometimes it just works. Other thing you could be doing too is going up with a, let's say, up air or like an empty hop and coming down with a fair and just catching me through the platform with fair.
Okay. I need to get better at getting stuff off Nair because I know you can. I just don't really know exactly what it is.
The biggest thing I'd do for that is get used to knowing how far Nair is going to send at certain percents, or visualizing the launch trajectory. That's something I do with Falco with his up tilt all the time, just so I know, okay, I can get like full hop up air, double jump up air, I can go up tilt into another up tilt or something like closer to the ground, right? And you should know all those things. Whether or not it's necessarily, you know, the exact percent, you should be able to tell by the color of the percent as well too. Just make it a little bit more lenient for yourself. So we both just did something very interesting right there. So we both got hit up into the air, and then we both air dodged, then we both held shield, or we held air dodge all the way through like this, right?
Yeah.
And I was kind of hoping that that would happen. Not necessarily because I wanted to miss, but if something like this happens, you see it all the time with other players. If you hit somebody and they happen to air dodge, very strong chance of going to shield right after, in which case you could go for a grab with some confidence that they are going to go for that air dodge into shield. Right, so something like that into this. The only time that might not happen is if they're actually facing you, because they could go like this into like jab immediately, right? But if they're facing backwards, they're probably going to shield, and more often than not, they are going to shield when they're facing forward too. So something you could look for. The jab is definitely a very conscious mix-up because it's not like a natural thing to go for.